I know I've shown this layout before, but lots of people haven't seen it, and it keeps coming up, so here's an updated version. This is where we are now. The black lines are the track. At one end is the engine shed, where the timber will be chopped up into little chips, and at the other end is the hopper, where they are dumped before going into the charcoal kiln, not built yet. In between are the sidings, where the wood chips sit and dry out inside a drying tunnel. So far so good. 5 sets of points connected all together, and it's all coming along fine. Bit slow, but fine. The next step is a complicated one because it's the kiln. But it's not just a kiln for making charcoal. There's a lot of heat produced in that process, so I want to collect that heat, store it somehow, and move it to the house for a warm and cozy house and lots of hot water. Which sounds like a good plan, doesn't it? But it's not as straightforward as you might think, because we're talking about short spells of very high temperatures in the kiln, but ideally long spells of relatively low temperatures in the house. So I don't quite know how to do it yet. I don't have a fully worked out plan at all, so feel free to jump in with suggestions as I build it and develop it over the next few weeks. Anyway, so that's the kiln stroke heat generator, but what else is needed for all this to work? Well, somehow I have to get the charcoal back up the slope to the main line after it's been made for grinding and further processing. I don't know how to do that yet, so I'll just leave that out for now. But I know that I'd like to lengthen the track at this end so I can bring logs in parallel to the bandsaw, so I can make them into planks, and then extend it further to the garlic beds in the far end of the barn. And a longer drying tunnel would be good too, so there's more chips in there drying out at any one time. I suspect the drying stage is almost the most important of them all, actually. Of course, the chipper and the kiln and the grinder and the inoculation tank are all important, but having dry chips is vital for the process to work properly. And if we come to rely on it one day for heating the house, then I need to plan ahead. I also have a big challenge further down the line once I've run out of our own timber. I can buy it in lorry loads from the State Forestry Commission, Quiltshire, but the log lorries are too big to get up our track. They just won't get round the first bend. So I'd need a different way to get them in, which would mean adding more track here, crossing the sidings somehow, and connecting with the main line, and then extending that track backwards through hedges and fields all the way down to the new entrance by Sandra's new barn. That's a big project, and I'd need help for that to happen, but how exciting that would be! We might have to put up a little tented camp and ask volunteers to help build it. Only then, though, at that stage would I need a locomotive. So far everything has been designed to be hand pushed, which is obviously bit boring, but the oldest and simplest way of all. All the wagons I've made so far have been small enough to push or pull around the place. Not easily maybe, but it is possible. I made the compressed air locomotive as a fun experiment, and it worked. And I'm sure I could make an electric one too. And when that long line is being made, they could both be very useful indeed. And when logs are hauled from one end to the other, then they'd be perfect for that. Until then, though, I can manage without them. And I still don't have a suitable compressor for Tornado, and no money for an electric one. But that's okay, there's still plenty to get on with. So thanks for all your support, and if you want things to go faster, feel free to chip into the pot, won't you? Take care, talk soon, bye.